Hi everybody, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Some sad news on the news of people losing their jobs over the last couple of days. I'll show you in a second if you haven't seen it in the headlines. But that's just going to explode over the next 6 months. And it's not one industry, it's lots of different industries, which you'll see in a second. But the other day when I did a Facebook Live, I was telling you to have a watch of a little video where 15 jobs is going to disappear in the next few years. I'll put that video below this again because I've got the YouTube link to it now. You don't have to opt in at all. But the world's changing. But when it changes in one direction, it's a massive opportunity for others. So if you recognize that and you can get ahead of the trend on that opportunity, you can earn a fortune. So some people might be thinking, that's it, what am I going to do? We've got the answer. We can help you. Just message us. We'll send you some information. It's really exciting. If you're watching this live, just put hi in the comments. It's a rainy day up here in Newcastle. I hope the weather's a bit better where you are. If you watch it on replay, just put replay and add a comment and then just message me and we'll get you some more information. So I'm just going to flick the screen round and show you it. One of the guys in the team's just been asking us questions about it, so I'll explain that a little bit more in a second. So let's switch this off. So this is 3 different sort of industries in a way, and this is in the papers in the last 24 hours. Actually, I'm going to change this up a little bit so you can actually see it a bit better. Just hang on a second. So I've got the full screen, and I'll go a bit bigger on the screen so that actually you can see it. There you go. Oh, that's not much better really, is it? Come out of that. Just come down. Oh, move it down a little bit. Right. So that's a little bit better. You can actually see that. So if you haven't been on the news in the last 24 hours, this is just a couple of the things that's actually happened. Hi, Tony, just coming in. How are you? Just a couple of things that's happened in the last 24 hours. Frankie's and Benny's, a restaurant chain, they're shutting 125 restaurants, 3,000 staff are going to disappear. Now, the one on the right, the Metro Centre, Debenhams is shutting. You might know the Metro Centre if you're not up in the north of east of England. It used to be one of the biggest shopping centres in Europe, one of the first retail parks. It's absolutely massive. And the biggest shop on the whole estate was Debenhams. And what happened was the owners of the Metro Centre wouldn't reduce the rent. So Debenhams basically says, well, if you're not going to reduce the rent, we're going to have to shut down. Now, guess what? The person who actually owns the Metro Centre retail park, they're in trouble as well and looking very close to going to administration. Now, obviously, when they go into administration, they'll actually carry on. But once they've lost their flagship store, how many other people are going to go to that shopping centre? And how many people in the last few weeks, since the lockdown, who weren't into online shopping, have learned how to be into online shopping, are wanting to go and be in a built-up area in a shopping centre anymore when they can actually shop perfectly well from home. Now, take that below that. So there's a completely different industry here, the oil industry. BP's just announced they're losing 10,000 jobs. Now, that's just in a day of how many jobs have actually been lost. And it's just going to be huge. Now, before the lockdown, the high street was struggling anyway because very few people were going there and a lot of people were doing the online shopping. That trend has now completely changed, that the people who weren't into online shopping have learned how to do online shopping, which means, guess what? They won't be going back to the shops anyway because they've worked out they can get products cheaper from the shops, from online than they could to the shops, and they don't have to go to fight their way through traffic, all the hassle with that, and no danger of bumping into people. So people have now become smart. So they're now searching the internet for different ways. Searching the internet for different ways to actually be able to get the products in a much cheaper price. So whatever you're involved in, you've got to have a brand where you cannot get it anywhere else at a different price because it's just the trends change. So you've got to be in an industry that's growing. So we're involved in that industry, and over 30 years experience, there's never been a better time to get into it. But you've got to find a company that's right, the products are right, the marketing's right, the money behind the company's massive, which means the potential is going to be huge. So I'm just going to jump across to the team page to just show you a few things of what's going on at the minute and some of the potential what you can actually do with it. So just wait till this loads up in a second. So our particular company is amazing. We've got 1,500 products. every catalogue that were reduced by up to 70%, and one in this catalogue is a fantastic toothpaste. Some companies out there in our arena are selling these between 12 and £10. Our normal price is £5, at the minute it's £2.95. That's just one product. It's a fantastic product. But the more you do, the more you get free. So if you just put an order in for over 50 bonus points, which is about £55, you get 3 products free. And then if you do over 100 bonus points, you get your 2 products free. Them 2's worth about sort of £16. So you're getting lots and lots and lots of free products. And there's lots of VIP gifts for customers and all kinds of different things to make the customers happy as well. So on top of that, there's lots of different incentives. I'll just show you some of the ones going at the minute. We've got 4 big international conferences to different places around the world. Now, if you qualify for these, they're not going on the date it said. It's when, obviously, the travel opens up again. But at the minute, there's running a conference to Cape Town. There's a conference to Zambezi. There's a conference to Tunisia. And there'll be another one announced later in the year. So that's 4 international conferences, you know. It's amazing. And on top of that, there's little conferences. So for just promoting one of our skincare ranges, whoever sells the most sets will actually be took down to London to stay in a 5-star hotel, to go out to the West End to a show, took to a 5-star restaurant. Don't know if they're going to do that before or after they've been to the show. I'm not quite sure of that, but it doesn't matter. It'll be a fantastic night out. And also, just for other little competitions, you can win this electric scooter, because obviously everybody's pushing everybody to be green now. I think that's just about 45 miles before it needs a charge. But there's loads of incentives. But the main thing is, when people start looking for an extra income, they could fall into anything. But you've got to have a rock-solid company with loads of money behind them. The company's been making 100 million profit for the last 10 years, so they've got a war chest of cash. It's not a company with no pennies behind it. It's got all the incentives you would expect. The better you do, the more you get. So it is absolutely the perfect time for the next 6 months. Never in the world of this industry are we going to have such a massive opportunity of people coming on board and looking for something. And some of them people would have never looked at our industry in the past. You know, they didn't even know about it. You know, people's direction are going to have to change absolutely massively, because with all these jobs lost, they just cannot go and find another one. The opportunities are not going to be there. It's impossible to fill all the jobs that's actually disappeared. So just go down a couple of more things to see I can spot the share. We've got some great opportunity videos I can send you with you. There's a little video that 2 years ago, it was her 50th birthday, and they took 6,000 reps. I had 2 cruise ships and went round the Med for 8 days. 5-star, nothing to pay, all the food and drink and entertainment free of charge. And guess what? At that time, there was only 3 or 4 or 5 people from the UK and Ireland qualified. Most of the people come from all the countries right across Europe, where the brand is absolutely massive. So you're sitting on an absolute gold mine here, because it's got all the brand that works so well in Europe. The product's absolutely amazing. So it's a fantastic time to absolutely jump on board. There's always trainings going on. At the minute, there's one just finished on teaching people how to look after the VIP online customers with online activity tracker. All this is free. The online shop's free. The back office is absolutely amazing. The support's absolutely amazing. So just going down to see something else. There's lots of recognition happening all the time, popping in. Different trainings coming on. Retailer so far done 8,000 points there. 2 people done over 8,000 points already. Fantastic retail coming through. Orders coming in all the time. We've got a thread here. I'll just open it up for a second, because this is probably the most... we'll stop on that as well. Another incentive that was actually ran, that if you did a certain amount, you got a free smartwatch. There's a group of people in the team qualified for that. If you happen to be watching this and recognize somebody in your team, make sure you message them and join with them. It's important you actually join our team, the Terrier Group. We've got the best support system in place, so it's very important you get connected to that. That was a video I said about the 15 jobs which actually getting lost. I'll stick this in the comments here below. Make sure you like it when you've had a watch of that, because it's not just what's happening now where people are going to lose their jobs. It's what's going to happen in the future. where they're going to lose jobs left, right and centre, and I've lost that. There's the 15 jobs that's going to disappear. So where was I? I was actually going to talk about the orders over oh, well, we'll stop on a product as well there. So there's always amazing products out the 1500. This is a shampoo, before and after results. You know, there's so many products, it's just cannot name how many good ones there's so many are. But if you don't know the brand, it was been in the UK since the late 60s, and it was fantastic in the 60s, 70s and 80s, a party plan company. And that's what you used to get as a little case where you used to go to people's houses and do the sample. Now the model's changed fantastically to an online catalogue, a real catalogue as well, a fantastic online shop. So there's loads of things to actually play with in there. Right, this is where I got before I actually got moved. So I'll just click on this in a second and open it up. And I just want to show you, because if you're joining something, you want to be, there's evidence. Now, there is other opportunities in our industry. You know, we're not the only one there. But two things for me to make it's got to be good is, one, can you make money by yourself, without a team? And these are the results coming in here. Loads of orders coming in. You know, anywhere, there's a one just stopped on £52, there's £90. This is in Christmas orders. There's a one £51, £38, £32. And these people are buying every 3 weeks. And it's fantastic when you're getting orders every 3 weeks. It just shows you the potential. It's absolutely huge. We're not even scratching the surface of where this opportunity is. But like getting back to talking about other opportunities, there's some opportunities where you've got to build a big network before you get paid anything. You know, you've got to have a good clump of 20 odd people in your team before you get anything. And to get to the right top levels, you've got to have thousands in where hardly anybody gets there. When you've got a retail model where you can make money by yourself, you can virtually make a living just off the retail side. So it's a very, very exciting future ahead. Remember, when I finish this, I'll put the YouTube video in of the 15 jobs that's going to disappear. I'll just go back to my profile a second, because that's an important thing. There's two things you've got to look at. There's me on there. Two things you've got to look at is all the jobs that's going to be disappearing, and watch that happening. Watch it happen every day for the next few weeks, well, few months really. It's going to be this company's losing so many jobs, this company's losing so many jobs. That's the first thing. And then watch the video in the comments here of 15 complete job industries that's going to disappear in the next few years. That they might think their job was for life and it's going to disappear. Now, I know this from the shipyards where I used to work in years ago. When I started there was 35,000 people used to work in the shipyards at the time, and then it's gone. An industry completely gone. The coal mining industry's gone. But this video I'm going to put in the comments is all the jobs that's going to disappear over the last 15 years. So some people are getting on a little bit and they're maybe looking for something to build up a pension. If you're going to put your effort into something, it's got to be something secure. It's going to be there for the rest of your life to give you a fantastic residual income. So remember, comment on it if you're watching it live and say hi. If you watch it on replay, have a fantastic day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Remember, anybody's got any questions, just messages on here, and then I'll come back as fast as I possibly can, and I'll speak to you soon.